What's up everyone, it's Jambor's new video, new debrief part 3, and today I'm going to talk about the countries which didn't make it to the finals. But I wouldn't say losers, the countries who did a lot of work, very nice done, but for some reason it didn't work. And I'm going to break it down a bit in this video, and I've chosen Romania for this, Slovenia, Austria, Australia and Denmark, because I think those countries deserve to be talked about as well, and I think they're not kind of in the focus as well. And of course I feel free about talking about them because I saw some patterns in each of them which just I think didn't let them make it through. Even I think they put a lot of good effort into it, and who else than me should talk about it. And that's as well the reason for you to share my videos, to like them videos, to subscribe to the channel and ring the notification bell for the other videos to come and you get noticed about them. But now it's time to talk about those things. Well, for that intro, let's talk. Okay guys, and let's talk about Romania first. Roxanne, Amnesia, that's one of my favorite songs this year, maybe even the most favorite, but now it's City of Buoni, probably all those Måneskin songs which I just found out that they're great. But with Romania, with Amnesia, with Roxanne, it's something Billie Eilish, whatever style it is, but I must say I like it. It's a great song, it's great made, it's great produced. Well, nothing really wrong about it. But in my recent video, I said how very important is if you transcend this quality into the live performance, and that wasn't there. And I think there are a few reasons for it. First of all, the staging, the staging was copying the music video. It was very complicated, but if you don't film it with the film focus and it was more staged, television biased, it didn't work. It was a bit annoying to watch because it just was like watching a theater show, which is a bit inappropriate in television in 2021. Which, well, that was the main thing. Probably they wanted to transcend this story, which not everyone saw actually, and I think it didn't really work out. And what didn't really work out, and we all heard it, was vocals. Were vocals. That was the part of the staging which I think was as well a mistake, because Roxanne, what would she really need actually? It's the live back vocals, and we see how this missed. She was there alone with 5 dancers, but her voice then was the only voice which can help, and she couldn't really, have anyone to trust to help her out, to stand out. And I think that's a normal technique to use, but it killed the song. It didn't really work. And I think the conclusion of this is, let's use live vocals only. I think it's much better for sounding as well. As we saw this year, it didn't really help anyone at all, and definitely didn't help Romania. But the song is good, I'm still listening to it. And I really wish that Roxanne will make her career stand out and just improve in everything she's doing, because going to Eurovision stage, it's not easy, and she was prepared. It was just too much. Let's talk about Slovenia now, because that's a different story. I'm not even sure Anna Soklic with the Amen needed a back vocalist. Of course she did, but did she? It was great. She is a great singer, like awesome singer. Like this is the best singer actually, and that's what we need. So what killed the song? What killed Amen? I think when you just, see the live on tape, and when you see the music video, and then when you see what happened in Rotterdam, you just ask yourself, why didn't they just do it the same way? Why did they experiment with something else, And what I think kind of killed Anna is that she had to focus on so many things. How to move with her hand, how to walk around this, why everyone had to use this bridge. It was bit of useless for most of the song. It was just, oh, we don't know what to do, so let's use it, because it's considered as a change, but it didn't work for most of it. Maybe only Portugal, which was just done awesomely. For most of the other staging, it was like, we need to use it. I think it killed the creativity of lots of stagings, and it didn't really work. And it didn't really work with Slovenia as well. It was unnecessary there. It was unnecessary, and it just distracted me especially from the song. And I enjoyed her voice, like best voice probably at the contest that year. And it was like, there was Elin Adini, awesome voice as well, and other contestants, but this was something very, very special. The song was good. I know that for some people it was maybe a bit boring, but I enjoyed it. But I think the staging just didn't sell the song. So For me, it's the staging, the thing which didn't help. But honestly, I'm not really sure if anyone would help such a song, because the same thing can be said about Amen, the other Amen from Amen, Vincent Bueno from Austria. Because in my opinion, that was one of the best staging that year. You know, very polished, clever, awesome lights and only lights, and that worked. The song was just not it for Eurovision, I think, and that's what I think really killed Austria this year. And I really as well think that Austria deserves to have national selection, because I think there are more Vincent Buenos there and they just know how to do it, kind of. But I think they just must, you know, just start to do national selections. That's it, because the else, you know, most of the time, great staging. Who remembers as our Samsung Wow? They have money to make stagings really well, so they can use things other countries can't afford. And they have good singers, actually. So the only thing what didn't really work is that wasn't the song, I think. But everything else would set up great. So have you done anything wrong? I don't know. I actually don't know. I was a bit sad because that was something hell of a good TV. Well, sometimes it happens. That's it. And maybe that's a different story for Austria. And you know, and that takes me to Australia, because they couldn't go to the Rotterdam. They used the live on tape, and that was one of the best live on tapes actually made. Very clever, very kind of easy, pleasing as well. It worked. For me, it was a shock that it didn't qualify. But maybe the song was too complicated for lots of people, or I don't know. Maybe, I don't know what was the problem. Maybe that really the live presence didn't help, but we saw that with Iceland it worked. It was as well rehearsal thing, you know, not live. But maybe in the arena, I don't know. Maybe Australia wouldn't make it even if they're there. But for me, one of the best voices, one of the greatest songs of the year as well. And for me, was a really shock. What didn't help? I don't know. That's the question, what Australia did wrong. And in this, you know, thinking, finding a conclusion, searching for a conclusion, I would say nothing. It just didn't work out somehow. But they've done nothing wrong. That can happen as well. That you've done nothing wrong and it just doesn't work. In my eyes, if I'm Australian producer, the feedback would be, let's do it next year. And that's it. Because it's a very different story than other stories I was talking for, like Czech story. Like where super huge amount of feedback should be done. In Australia, nothing. I don't know. Even Montaigne really worked great on social media. It was a hell of a story as well, and that's it. Talk about Denmark. Have they done anything wrong? No, it worked. It was staged great. It was a great presence. I think what killed it was that it was from the 80s, exactly the 80s. I think people doesn't really want this too much, but it didn't fail too much as well. And I enjoyed it. I enjoy it. I would say that's exactly what would be called the guilty pleasure, because you are a bit ashamed that you like it, but you somehow like it, and that's because the artists, Fear and Flam, they were great. They were just great. You know, the presence, how seriously they took it, kind of, you know, that really helped. And I was, you know, all in. I'm not even sure. Maybe I sent some votes for them. I'm not sure. if I voted in the semi-final actually. But, you know, what have you done wrong? I don't know, the selection process maybe. Maybe just the selection process, the modern music first, I would say. But that's probably as well something what really works in Denmark, so why not to go with it? And it won, it was staged perfectly, I would say, really following the atmosphere of what the songs brings. They were great, but the song was just too obsolete, I would say, for many to push it through the finals. And we can maybe say it about another song, but different semi-final, different story. And there was actually nothing like this, or nothing I really heard of, or whatever. I think maybe the lack of marketing, that's hard to say. That's hard to say because no one really understood what the hell is this? That was like in here, so many people said like this was a shameful thing to have. I don't think it was shameful, but definitely they said actually, well, that was the something we listened here in the communist era, you know, those things, and it's just not it. But that's the thing, what is here, you know, maybe that as well didn't help. But if I'm Danish producer, I definitely would go deeply with the feedback of the national selection, I would say, because that was the start of this unsuccess, I think. But they don't have to feel ashamed anyway, because I think they've done great work. And that's a good conclusion of it all. That's so many things which can happen, so many things which are different, so many things which countries can improve, can think about, can give them some feedback, can give themselves a feedback, that's it. And of course that applies to me as well, you know, because we all make mistakes or misjudgments or things, but if we just want to push this project further, if we just want to do things better, we must be harder on ourselves as well, and we must be really honest about what we are doing. And you know, just saying it's a bad luck never helped anyone, you know. That's the worst excuse, and excuses actually doesn't really as well help, because the other countries who are doing the great work, they won't sleep and they just want to, you know, do it once again, and they just will, maybe. So you need to do 2 more steps forward, and I'm really sure somebody else will, and I'm really curious what those countries will bring next year, because I know all those producers and they are just super competitive as well. Sometimes they win, sometimes they don't, but I think they are all on the good track, and that's what matters for all of us. That's a great thing. So don't forget to subscribe my channel, don't forget to like the video, don't forget to ring the notification bell, and don't forget to follow my other videos and tell me your opinions in the comments below, and I see you next time. Thank you for watching. Bye.